Okay, guys, I just wanted to make a quick video to announce a few things. So, my mom decided to do a little project with my daughter, M, a while back. She decided to create a children's book with her. And my mom wrote the story, and my daughter gave her ideas, and they just kind of created this story together. And then my daughter helped with the illustrations, and my mom did some of the harder stuff, and then my daughter like colored it in and added her own personal flares to it and whatnot. My mom has never done anything like that before. She's always been very creative. She's written in journals, notebooks, her own personal stuff, but she's never published anything. I think maybe like me, she thought, that's not really in the cards for me. That's like too big for me. I'm never gonna get something published. But she started writing for Johnson County, Arkansas, their historical society. They have this little, like a pamphlet, a booklet sort of thing that comes out, I think, quarterly in a year, like maybe 4 times a year. This little, it's almost like a little magazine type of thing. And she's very into history, genealogy, true stories about the past and stuff. And she's done lots of research on my family tree. So I don't know how they found it exactly, but she like posts stuff on social media, full length stories and things about history, about a story about a relative of her past or whatever. And they were like, we like the way you write. And so they kind of reached out to her. Anyways, my mom ended up writing for their magazine. And she's now been published several times in their magazine. She's written full-length stories about our ancestors that lived in Johnson County. Just like kind of their life stories, like a really cool story about them. That gave her some confidence. And anyway, she came up with this children's storybook idea with my daughter. She's kind of just doing it for fun or whatever. She found a website called Bookemon.com. Bookemon.com. Bookemon. And you can publish your own books on there. You can put your own books on there. Create a book and have it where it's for sale on there. So she did that with the children's book. And the first one they did was called Rainbow and Faith. It's about a boat named Rainbow and a fish named Faith. And they go on an adventure together. My daughter is the one that named the boat Rainbow. My mom was going to call it something different, and my daughter insisted that it be called Rainbow, and she colored the sails rainbow colored. And my mom thought that ended up being perfect for the story. They made that book and put it on Bookemon, and I did make a video about that if you want to check it out. Kind of showing you the book and telling you about it. It's still available to buy on Bookemon. It has 3 different options. You can get a softcover that's glossy for $16.19, or hardcover with glossy cover for $29.19, or a hardcover with matte finish for $32.19. It's a little high, yeah, for a children's book, I think. And then she made another children's book called Tully and Skeet. Same thing. My mom wrote the story. My daughter helped with the illustrations, and my mom did the harder stuff. It's about 2 deer. One's named Tully, one's named Skeet. They're like brothers, and they go on an adventure together. I actually kind of like that story a little bit better than Rainbow and Faith. And she put that on Bookemon.com as well. You can search it. I found it easier to search by the title than by her name. Her name is Joanie Long. but I couldn't find it by searching by her name. I found it by the title. It's in 3 formats, just like the other one. You can get softcover with glossy for $22.19, so a little bit more than Rainbow and Faith. I guess it's a little bit longer story, a little bit more to it. She didn't get to pick the prices. It was kind of their prices. Hardcover with glossy finish is $35.19, and hardcover with matte is $38.19. You can still buy those on Buckeyes, but she has now been able to put them onto Amazon.com, and they're a lot cheaper. It's only in one format, paperback, so the book itself looks a little bit different. She had to kind of change. It's the same story, same illustrations. The book itself just looks a little bit different than the one on Buckeyes. But now you can buy Rainbow and Faith for $7.98 and Tully and Skeet for $9.98 in paperback. And you can look it up by the title or by her name. It's hard to see. Yeah, that's really hard to see. And then also her book, her novel that she just wrote, which is really hitting it off. I'm currently on page 39 because I suck. I suck at reading. I never find time to read for myself. So I just haven't found a lot of time to read it, sadly. I feel like I should be done with this book by now, but... So this is what the book looks like on Amazon.com. And it is $12.98 for a paperback copy. Or you can get it on Kindle. I believe it's $2.99. It doesn't let me see the price for some reason on my phone. It's like $2.99 for a Kindle version. The reason I want to make this video was to tell you that the 2 children's books that she and my daughter made together are no longer just on Buckeyes.com with kind of outrageous prices. Now they are available to buy on Amazon.com for a lot cheaper prices, free shipping. If I don't know if you have to have Amazon Prime or not to have free shipping, but it shows free shipping for me. And it's, below $10 a piece for both of them. And also, I know a lot of my viewers probably live far away and, this is nowhere near the neck of their woods, but on October 15th, which is a Saturday, they are having this sort of day, festival, whatever you call it, called Doc Floyd Day in Oark, Arkansas. It's a little bitty tiny community up in the mountains of Arkansas, which is where the book, When the Buckeyes Fall, that's where it takes place. It's a fictional book, but she kind of wrote it taking place in that area in Arkansas, the little small town area of Oark, Arkansas. Well, they have sort of like a holiday event or whatever called Doc Floyd Day, I guess once a year in October. And it's there in that small little town. There was a doctor that lived there in that small town, a small town country doctor, that he was just kind of old-fashioned country doctor that would come to your house or whatever. And he lived up there in the mountains, and so it's like a holiday to celebrate him. And I guess the old remnants of his house, his old house, is still standing up there. And I saw a picture of it on Pinterest or something. Trying to see if I can find it real quick. Doc Floyd's old office. So this is what pops up for Doc Floyd's old office. It's like a old house, I guess, that's still standing. I don't know if that's standing or if it's its house. Dr. Floyd's old office, Oark. Anyways, there's a old there's like a restaurant across the street from it called the Oark store, I believe. And people travel from long distances to go eat there. A lot of like motorcyclists like to drive up there because it's really scenic and beautiful, windy roads that go up a mountain, and then they eat at that restaurant and take pictures outside of it, and it's kind of a little touristy place. Well, I guess they're having some kind of festival. I never heard of it before. And they invited my mom to come there and set up a table because her book is really getting popular, especially around that area. Like she went up there to drop off some books because she is selling some of the books, some of these books. There's a pharmacy in Clarksville, Arkansas, and they said she could sell like 10 copies at a time on an end cap on one of their aisles. They had a little display set up with 10 copies of her book for sale. They sold out immediately. So they were like, we're going to put up 20 copies. Those sold out immediately. So, yeah, they've been doing pretty good there. And those were signed copies of her book, too. The ones in the pharmacy for sale. So I'm not sure if they still have any right now or not. My mom's been trying to keep them supplied, but it's a little difficult. And if she's going to this Doc Floyd day, and if she has any extra books, she's going to drop them by like that pharmacy so they can still be sold there. Other than that, they're available on Amazon.com. And they're cheaper on Amazon. Was it $12.98, $12.99? At the pharmacy, they're like $14 and something, but they're signed copies. So my mom's setting up a table at this Doc Floyd day where she's going to have copies. She's going to be there in person, signing copies of her book and selling her book. She will also have copies of her 2 children's books there as well, and I'm sure she would sign those as well. And talk to people, answer any questions, hang out. And it's exciting because my mom's never done nothing like that. I wanted to go really bad, but I have to work and couldn't really ask off work, and things were just hectic, and so I just didn't go. I'm not going to go, And if you are interested in going to Doc Floyd Day, some of the other things that are happening at this event is there is a run, I think, for charity or something. Either a 10-mile or a 2-mile run that's happening. There's a car show. There's a petting zoo. And other booths, people selling stuff. That's about it. I've never been to it before, so I don't really know myself. That's just information I gathered online. I'll try to put all the info in the description, like address of the event, where it's at, and I'll try to put like links to things like Amazon and so on and so forth. So yeah, please buy my mom's book. It's on Amazon. Buy her children's books. They are either on Bookemon.com or Amazon. And my mom will be live in person, signing books and selling them at the Doc Floyd Day event in Oark, Arkansas. And she also has her book, When the Buckeyes Fall, for sale at the Rosebud Pharmacy. I hope I'm saying that right. I should probably look that up to make sure I'm saying that right. Rose Drug, not Rosebud. Rose Drug of Clarksville on 211 East Main Street. I'll try to put the address to that in there too. She's had really amazing reviews on Amazon. People saying this is the best book they've read in like 30 years. So my mom, this is a fiction book, but she kind of imagined that Hannah Casey lived in this house. and that this house was up in the mountains of Arkansas, Oark, in the small town of Oark, which in the book it's called Buckeye. The small town is called Buckeye, but it's kind of based off of that area, and there's some of the same like creek names, and some of the landscape is kind of described the same as what it is up there. Oh, and I almost forgot. Also, my mom ordered these bookmarks, which she will be handing out for free at the event to people. It's a picture of the house at the back. And then there is 3 quotes. One is from Hannah Casey, the main character, the girl. "These mountains that you carried, you were only meant to climb." Joseph Inman, "Fear doesn't stop death, but it certainly does stop life." And Joshua Harris, "Fear makes the wolf seem bigger than he is." And then Books by Joanie on the back. Follow me on Facebook for upcoming book releases and other author information. Purchase my books on Amazon.com and email me at jonielong86@gmail.com. So there's that information. I'll try to put that in the description as well. My mom did also start a Facebook page called Books by Joanie, where she's posting book-related content and talking about book stuff having to do with her book. So also go follow her on Facebook, Books by Joanie. And I pop in there as well. I've been in the comments section like crazy, commenting on things, you know. As always, please like and subscribe and leave nice comments down below if you will. And have a nice day. Bye.